Hey everyone, it's Sean. It's Sunday, so that means it's time for story time. This week we're going to do things a little bit different. I found this really awesome book called A Child's First Book of Poems, and what I'm going to do is read some of the short poems that are in here to some of the animals that we have. Now, on the same two-page front, I found a poem about a turtle, and another one about bugs, and another one about bullfrogs. And I'm here in the reptile room today where we keep all of those things, and they're all right around me. So we're going to take a look at each one, and we're going to talk a little bit about the animals that are there. So behind me are red-eared sliders. Red-eared sliders are awesome turtles, but they require a lot of care. Turtles in general eat a lot of different types of food and create big messes. So you have to have a very large tank, lots of filters for them, and plenty of UVB radiation. That's a special type of light that comes from the sun that we can replicate in bulbs. But if they don't get it, turtles can actually get very sick. It makes their shells soft and it makes their bones soft. So they have to have lots of light, they have to have some heat, and they have to have things to bask on. And then, like I said, lots of food. There's fish going around in there. We throw them worms, we throw them crickets, they get some veggies. There's lots of different things for them to eat. So, although turtles are one of my favorite animals ever, and growing up I always wanted a turtle, it wasn't until I started working here that I realized maybe a turtle isn't the best pet for me because of how much care they take. You gotta be willing to take on a lot of responsibility. And if you're willing to do that, they are a great animal and I highly recommend them. So at that point, I'm going to read Rocky and Adrian here a poem called The Little Turtle. There was a little turtle, he lived in a box. He swam in a puddle, he climbed on the rocks. He snapped at a mosquito, he snapped at a flea. He snapped at a minnow, and he snapped at me. He caught the mosquito, he caught the flea. He caught the minnow, but he didn't catch me. That was The Little Turtle by Michelle Lindsay. So I hope you enjoyed that one. And now we're going to go ahead and I'm gonna do some exploring, and instead of cutting the video and pasting it together, I want you guys to kind of see all the different things we have around here. This department is full of amazing animals, and we do our best to take the best possible care of all of them. As you can see, there's tags on some of them that say new arrival. That's because we like to check all the animals over, and we have a veterinarian come in and check them over and make sure that everything's okay. There's lots of different frogs behind me. We got white tree frogs, hourglass tree frogs, starry night reed frogs, marine toads, and then down here, tomato frogs, which are a super frumpy, cool looking frog. There's a baby pixie frog in there. You see he's sitting in his water dish. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read the bullfrog song. But first, we're gonna talk about amphibians a little bit. So amphibians also require special care, just like the turtles. But amphibians are very, very special because their skin is kind of like a sponge. They can breathe through it and they absorb water through it. So really, we don't like to handle amphibians unless we absolutely have to. And if you're going to handle amphibian, your hands should be wet with water from where they're at. That's because we wash our hands with soaps and we use hand sanitizer and all kinds of things. Well, that can sit in our hands, and that means they can then absorb it up through their skin and make them very, very sick. And that's the last thing that we want. Frogs have always been one of my favorite animals to look for out in the wild. And in fact, I'm wearing this cool bandana that's got frogs on it right now. And this comes from a special organization called EVAC. And that's the Alvaje Amphibian Conservation Center down in Panama. And I was lucky enough to work with them last year. And they work on preserving frog species that are either extinct in the wild or close to extinction. And what they do is they try to breed them to get them back out into their habitats. So you should definitely look them up and help them out because they do amazing things, and it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life. So, on that note, sorry the camera's a little shaky. Like I said, I don't do things super professional because I like them to look real. I'm going to read the Bullfrog song by Anita E. Posey to this baby pixie frog behind me. So, the Bullfrog song. The bullfrog sang the strangest song. He sang it night and day. Kerunk, 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 kerunk was all it seemed to say. A duck who liked to sing thought he would give the song a try. Kerunk, quack, quack, kerunk, quack, quack, they sang as I walked by. The spotted cow had never heard a more delightful song. Right then and there, the spotted cow began to sing along. The frog, the duck, the spotted cow sang out so loud and clear. Kerunk, quack, quack, kerunk, moo, moo, was all that I could hear. The speckled hen, a mother hen whose work is never done, began to sing, for she knew when you sing, your work is fun. The frog, the duck, the cow, the hen, all sang the happy song. Carunk, quack, quack, moo, moo, cluck, cluck. They sang the whole day long. I'm wondering how much that frog enjoyed that one. All right, so the last poem is called Like a Bug, and it's by Eileen Fisher. Now, some people get kind of scared of bugs, and that's okay. It's okay to be scared of them. But it doesn't mean you have to be afraid of them all the time, because you know that they all have their own functions. So just like turtles clean up lots of things in the water and eat all kinds of bugs, just like frogs eat bugs and help control some insect populations, these bugs are actually eating smaller bugs and help control those populations as well. So we've got all kinds of stuff here. We've got bark scorpions, we've got a giant tarantula called a bird eater, there's hissing cockroaches, there's ornamental tree tarantulas or tree spiders that love to climb. There's pink-toed tarantulas which love to climb. Most of them right now are hiding because they like to come out at nighttime. So maybe this is the perfect time to actually read them their story time poem. So this one is called Like a Bug. Do you ever wonder what it's like to be a bug? Fitted in a jacket that is stiff and rather snug. Sleeping in a thistle or beneath a leafy rug. Never having ginger snaps or cocoa in a mug. Or a father you can talk to, or a puppy you can hug. That was a little sad for being a bug. Bugs don't live that bad of life. They may be a little bit solitary and do their own thing, but I find them pretty cool. So, like I said, almost everybody's sleeping, otherwise I would show you them. Maybe some of our spiderlings are out. These are where we like to keep babies. I do see that some praying mantises are out. If the door will open. We'll just leave them be then. All kinds of cool stuff. So next time you think of a bug, just realize they're not that scary and they're okay to deal with. So hope you guys enjoyed this little bit different version of Storytime, but it kind of gave you a chance to see all the cool stuff that we see here. Including all of our dart frogs, which I've talked about in past story times and past animal facts. And then even our really, really big tarantula, which she's hiding in the back there. So you should stop by sometime and maybe you can get an appreciation for insects like some of us have. So have a good night.